What did you do in the 25 minutes yesterday that you were bored?
Yeah, so step number 2, get artistic. And I'm going to have my videographer Kush here bring me a little piece for you guys to see. This is what you can do in your free time.
How long did that take you?
Took me a couple hours maybe. Hey yo guys, welcome back to episode 5 of Adulting. As you can see, it's only me and Avril here today. And let's get into why that's the case. So basically, our co-host Josh and our videographer Bucky both decided that it'd be a good idea to go on spring break. Josh is currently in Florida. Bucky's in Mexico. Okay, quit it with the ASMR. So I think for the next couple of weeks, possibly, it might just be the Dante and Avril special, to be honest.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. We were gonna put a clown emoji over Josh's face. But I don't know why you didn't do that, but...
I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, so... I mean, I don't know. Josh made it seem like he wasn't gonna go, and then all of a sudden, it was like 2 days, and this dude wasn't responding to our texts.
Yeah, we thought he was dead or something, and then he was like, oh, I'm in Florida.
Yeah, and so basically, I don't know how long they're gonna be gone for. I think Bucky's gonna be gone till next Friday. But, or when this episode comes out is when he'll be coming back. However, we have to wait a whole 2 weeks after they come back to make sure that they don't show any signs of COVID-19.
Yeah, because we're not trying to catch the corona time.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe we'll be restricted to only being in our houses by the government by then. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going to happen. But the views are up.
Views are way up.
Episode 3 almost hit 3K. So episode 5 is coming out on Tuesday before this episode. What do you think?
Episode 4.
Episode 4. What do you think it's going to hit? I think it's going to hit 5K.
5K?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen.
Our makeshift videographer, my brother, is standing back there saying 4. He's saying 4K views. I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to go 4,500. 4,500 views.
Yeah. But make sure you subscribe, because we really need the subscribers to go up. We hit 110, but we're not qualified for AdSense, like not even close at this point, and we need to get the views up, we need to get the subs up, because we need to start, oh my god, we need to start improving the set. I mean, it's pretty good for what it is now, but we have a lot of stuff that we want to do, and we want to start producing really high quality premium content that everyone's going to be able to enjoy.
Let us know if you enjoyed the ASMR, by the way. We can bring that back in the future, just like...
It's not picking.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a little disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. Man, I woke up yesterday morning, and I go on Instagram, and you know what I see? I see every girl that I follow posting a picture called the Beautiful Women Challenge, and they're nominating 10 other women. For what reason? Probably because they're bored as hell, stuck at home. I don't know why. But it's turned into such a meme that sports people are doing it now for like the best batter, the best football play, the best soccer goal. There's the sexy man challenge or whatever that I've been nominated for a couple times now. I don't know what is going on. People are clearly losing it. I don't know what to do about it. I'm not going to participate in this. It's kind of annoying if you ask me. What's your take on this?
So, yesterday I woke up and the first thing as usual on my mind was, I'm the co-host of Adulting and episode 3 is coming up today. By the way, go watch that and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also comment. But I woke up, go on Instagram, right? And I see this 10 stories in a row. Same thing. And it was Beautiful Women Challenge. Nominate. And it got to the point where instead of tapping through, I started swiping through. Yeah. I started swiping like I was Tinder. I was so kept swiping, and I thought it was gonna go away. I thought it was gonna blow away like all these other challenges usually do. But dude, it's snowballing. Like there's so many people doing it now. And
all I'm saying is, why can't people come up with something a little bit more creative that like is actually like enjoyable to view? Like,
you know what's enjoyable?
Start producing some content. You know.
You know what's enjoyable to view is what the soccer players are doing, where they're taking rolls of toilet paper and they're like juggling the toilet paper on camera.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Oh, Lionel Messi did that. He did it. He's like one of the top soccer players in the world. Yeah, he did that where like it's called like the 10 touch challenge or something, and basically they take a roll of TP, which is kind of comedic. They take a roll of toilet paper and they juggle with 10 times with it, and then they just hit it as hard as they can and yeet it across the room, and I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I saw a couple basketball players, Dwayne Wade and I think Trae Young. They both posted videos of them trying to do like little basketball challenges. Trae Young did it with rolls of socks, and he was shooting them into his dirty hamper.
Yeah.
And then Dwayne Wade, I don't know what they were. I think they might have been rolls of socks too. But he had his kid holding a basketball, like a kiddie basketball hoop, and he was like just trying to see like how far he could do free throws from.
I just want to see D Wade like sprint up and just dunk on that thing so hard that it knocks the kid off.
That'd be kind of funny. That'd be funny.
The kid would be crying. It would be terrible, but it'd be so funny. Like I would laugh. Yeah, he starts flexing on his kid.
Yeah.
No, but it's kind of devolved into like 800 different challenges, including the cute men challenge that I was nominated for this morning. So
I feel like we should create a challenge that goes viral. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool. But I woke up this morning and my good friend Max, he tagged me. I woke up and I saw like 800 notifications, mostly from YouTube. Mm-hmm. I saw like one from Instagram and I was like, that's weird. I usually don't get Instagram notifications unless I post something. Mm-hmm. Hadn't posted anything, so I click it and it was Max has mentioned you in his story, and I was like, oh, what's this about? So I click it and it was like just trying to spread positivity, and it's like me and 9 other guys. This dude, he posts like the weirdest looking selfie too. It's like his hood is up and his hair is like sticking out of his hood over.
He's got like gum sticking out of his mouth.
Like it was so obviously just a meme. So I was like, all right, I'll play along. This is a meme. So I posted I'd say an equally bad selfie.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, you kind of looked based.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we'll make sure to bleep that.
Yeah, that's gonna get cut.
Yeah. Oh man, was that this morning too that you posted it?
Like, yeah, that was this morning. But something I noticed is that guys are treating more like this a lot more like a joke than I'd say what the girls are doing. Yeah. Because the girls, like, you get nominated, most of them are actually doing it. Guys are just like, what's the dumbest thing I can do to him?
How troll can I get?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're 1 week into quarantine now. Man. Oh boy. Spring break officially started. Although I don't really know if you can call this spring break. We're kind of just stuck at home. I guess we're producing content, so that's good. People don't have a whole lot to do, so, the views are up.
That's part of why the views are so up right now. You know what this reminds me of? So, last year, do you remember when it was like, it was only 1 week, so it wasn't like what it is right now, but it was 1 week, and we had temperatures in negative, like, 50s and 60s, and they shut school down.
Yeah.
And it was actually physically impossible to leave your house.
Yeah, it was painful.
Yeah, but what's pissing me off right now is...
It's beautiful outside?
It's so nice outside. There's nothing stopping me from going outside except...
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do, and there's, just the conscious thought in the back of my mind that...
You're going to contract the...
I'm going to catch corona.
If only we lived, like, in the wilderness, and we could just, like, go climb a mountain or something.
Like in Colorado?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be way more chill. There's my backyard doesn't really consist of a whole lot. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I live in suburbia, so there's not really anything quite.
You know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Are gamers do they know what's going on? Like if you're a gamer, and you haven't seen the sun in like 8 years?
Yeah, did you see the thing with Jared Leto?
No.
You know who Jared Leto is, right? Like,
Heard of him.
He played like the cringy Joker in the Suicide Squad movie. Yeah, so apparently he was doing some like meditation or like mind peace like trip out in the desert, and he was out there for like a week and a half or something, and so he had no like connection to social media or like his phone or anything.
Yeah.
And so he comes back and he realized that the world was like basically shutting down because of Corona. He had no idea what was going on, and he comes back and he's like, "What the?" That's crazy. Like imagine you went out on like a trip, like I don't know, like in the middle of nowhere, and you came back and you realized, oh, the freaking zombie apocalypse is going on right now.
I mean, honestly, that'd be kind of cool. Like a zombie apocalypse? Yeah. Don't you think that'd be kind of sick?
Until you realize all your friends have turned, or like there's like you're no chance of you surviving.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was a zombie, I'd probably, or if I was in a zombie apocalypse, I'd want to be like on Logan Paul's team. That dude's he's ready. For some reason, he actually believes that this could happen.
You see, he's got the G-Wagon with the snow plow on it. You could just, like, plow through zombies.
And he's got the ranch?
Yeah. We don't have any of that, so I'd say our chance of survival, below 5%.
I'd give it 6 months. In 6 months, we'll have all that. 6 months? You think that's a good goal for 6 months to... Also,
I mentioned this to Abba. Do you guys think it's cringy if we put our Venmo in the bio? Because, like, we really want to start, like, getting, like, donations or contributions towards, like, increasing the set. Like, we're not keeping any of the money, like, for ourselves. We just want to, like, improve the quality so that people can, like, better enjoy the content that we're producing.
And, I didn't mention this in the previous episode, but, we've partnered with Anchor, our sponsor, and also our hosting website. So basically now you can actually donate money directly to us. You don't even have to watch it. So if you scroll down to the description or my pinned comment from the adulting post, from the adulting channel, there's a link down there that you can click on. You can donate money directly to us. And like Dante said, we're not
wait, they have a donation button?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, like Dante said earlier, we're not keeping any of this money, but it just helps us create better content for you guys, and that's ultimately our goal at the end of the day is, to create the best content that we can. And part of that, so the first thing we're going to do with whatever we make, how much money we make, is probably get better lighting for our set and maybe invest in like a better video camera, because our current camera situation, I mean, it's not terrible, but it could be improved,
the cameras we're using currently aren't really for video, so that's the problem.
It took us a couple episodes to get the camera situation down, but I think, we can still improve it, for sure.
Yeah, what's crazy, too, though, is just the amount of views that are still going up, and, like, people actually returning for what we're producing. I mean, after all, when we started this channel, I shouldn't say, like, we started this channel so long, because it's still new. But we started this because we had an interest and a passion for trying to create content, but also because we were hoping that people were going to want to listen to what we had to say and be interested in it. So, like, this is also the people's channel, too. It's not, like, just something that we're doing for ourselves.
It's crazy. Do you think we're kind of building a pretty large platform, like, pretty fast?
Yeah. Honestly, though, if you need to do some finger exercises or something while you're in quarantine, I have an exercise tip for you. It only takes a couple seconds. So what you do is you go onto YouTube, you go to adulting, and then when you're at the video, you go down to the bottom and there's this little red button and it says subscribe. You hit that button and then you hit the bell to the side of it to turn on those post notifications.
Also, you slide down just a little bit and you click the thumbs up. In China, they would say that's a bad thing. but in America we consider that a good thing.
Should we just get into it?
Yeah.
Should we get into the main segment? All right.
That's so our main segment today, it's about, we're talking about social media and high school culture and how those two influence each other. And the reason I'm laughing so hard right now is because it's such a hard 180 from what we were just talking about. We were just laughing about a thumbs up, and now we're going to such a topic of such importance.
Yeah, like our last episode, I think was really powerful, and I hope people will actually really like that episode. And so maybe if like that's what people like to be viewing, we'll do some more episodes like that. But we're obviously gonna make sure to keep some of the episodes lighthearted too, because you can only get so serious before like it gets to a point where you need some good love and comedy in your life.
Yeah. That last episode, in my opinion, I think it just kind of took off since we start. So most of our episodes, we have like a little, we have an outline for what we want to talk about, and that episode, we kind of hit the first point in the main segment, and it just kind of took off.
Mm-hmm.
And, we didn't bother to fight it that much. I mean, Josh had to jump in at the very end and, like, cut us off because we were just battling at that point to cut us off. But, that episode was one of those, where we had such powerful opinions and things we wanted to discuss that it didn't really feel like we were really going off a script or anything.
Yeah. All right. So we're both seniors. We're both 18. So I mean, we're almost done with our K through 12 experience, and we're almost gonna be moving on to the next chapter in our life. But I'd say we're one of the ages with, like, I don't know, what was the cutoff, do you think, of age range that people grew up with technology and social media throughout their whole life? Like, I'd say, how many years back do you think it started?
Well, I think I think our age group is kind of like the line.
We're like right in between because how old were you when you got your first phone?
That's the same question I was gonna ask you. I was in 6th grade.
6th grade. Yeah, me too. My parents didn't see a point of getting
it wasn't just like, I mean, it wasn't just me. Like, I wasn't one of the people that got their phones last or anything. Like, that was the average. Like, most people get like their first phone, and like my brother right now, he's 10 years old. He has a iPhone 11 at 10 years old. My first phone when I got to 6th grade was a little Samsung Galaxy that my mom found in the back of her dresser.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's people now that are like 4 years old and have smartphones.
Mhm.
And these 4-year-olds are using Snapchat too. What the?
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean,
my cousin, so I have 2 cousins, they're brother and sister, and one is 3rd grade maybe, and the other one is probably like 1st or 2nd grade maybe, maybe 1st grade. They both just got Facebook. And they added me on Facebook. What?
Are you active on Facebook?
I mean, so when I got Facebook, I got it because I have relatives in Mexico, and so I got it to like kind of communicate with them.
Yeah.
I didn't really like go through with that, I guess. But now basically, because almost all my friends on there are my relatives from Mexico, everything on my Facebook page is in Spanish, and I'm not like the most super fluent person in Spanish, and like jokes in Spanish don't translate well to jokes in English, so I have no idea what's going on my Facebook page.
I kind of have a similar story. So, a lot of relatives of mine are from India.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I go on my Facebook, my entire feed, which, by the way, I don't go on Facebook a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go on it like once a month or something. And that's usually when I accidentally click it. Like, I don't think in the past like 5 years, I've actually gone on Facebook because I was like, wow, I'm gonna go on Facebook. But I go on there and it's all in like Hindi. And I can't read the language. So 90% of the time, I don't have any idea what my Facebook feed is saying.
Although, I'm not gonna lie, I do get tracked. scrolling through videos that are like just like, for some reason, like what shows up in my feed is videos of like people filming cops, and like it's like, what's your take on this? Are the cops like doing their job morally correct or not? And I just like get lost in scrolling through that for like hours, and then I realize like, what am I doing?
Do you ever get lost in just scrolling through the comments?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I feel like I gotta put like a hazmat suit on because of how toxic that comment sections
Dude,
are.
parents on Facebook are almost more toxic than teenagers, to be honest, on like Instagram or like social media.
Well, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like teenagers aren't really that aggressive when you think about it on Instagram, like publicly.
Yeah, not publicly, but
Like publicly, if you go on Facebook, you will see like people just going off on each other. Instagram, you don't really see that much. Like,
and it gets so political too.
yeah, Instagram, you see people getting in arguments, but it's usually like over like in the private channels through the DMs and things like that. You usually don't see like parents with kids that are like 16 and 17 years old publicly flaming each other on each other's profiles, which is another thing about Facebook. Where I feel like Facebook, you can directly like connect with someone way easier than Instagram, because Instagram, it's kind of a picture and video sharing platform where you can share your takes and your things, but you're not really talking to someone. Whereas Facebook, it feels like you can directly talk to someone, as you can go on their profile and comment and like write some disgusting message right on their profile.
Facebook is kind of like half Twitter, half Instagram, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot more like writing than it is like pictures, to be like on Facebook, I think. Yeah. Compared to Instagram, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Facebook is just, since the demographic is a lot older than, say, Instagram. Yeah. And maybe even Twitter. Facebook is, in my opinion, Facebook's a lot like more unfiltered, because the moderators on Facebook, they don't really have to worry about
children.
Yeah, because kids, like, no one under the age of like 16, I don't think ever, at least at this point in time,
unless
uses
you're
Facebook.
my 11-year-old cousin and who just got Facebook.
Ugh. But yeah, so Facebook, that's kind of a point that I want to bring up, is how much of this like current toxic social media environment that we live in, how much of this do you think is created by adults? Like, for example, Facebook, would you say Facebook is the most toxic social media platform?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about in between Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, I'd say Facebook. I'm not on a whole lot of other platforms.
I am on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter, yeah, but I'm not on any other platforms aside from those three. Yeah. And I'd say from Facebook, there's a lot more outrage culture on there than there is on the other two, in my opinion.
Well, Twitter, I feel like Twitter, there's a lot of toxicity on Twitter too, but it's not as widespread where you have every single person on the platform, like, if they want to, they can directly go after and attack someone else.
On Twitter, though, it almost seems more like roast. On Facebook, it's like hate.
It's attacks.
It's pure hate.
Twitter, it's more like, it's more like, that dude's got a big nose, like,
shut up and stop being silly, or whatever.
Yeah. But Twitter's like, I will murder you and or Facebook is like, Facebook. I will murder you and your family if you don't stop talking to me right this instant, where it's just a lot more aggressive and seems hateful.
Meet me at the Walmart parking lot off 35, and I'm gonna show you what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just go on Google and search up like funny Facebook posts, and you will see something like that where people are talking about like they're gonna go fight someone outside Wally World or something.
Yeah, but do you think that social media I definitely think this is for teenagers too, allows you to like have like an alter ego or like a separate identity from like how people know you in real life, like face to face? Like, I feel like there could be the most quiet kid that you know face to face, or the most like just like normal person. I don't even know if normal, but like it's like different. Like, you can be like maybe like a I'll use a girl for example, like not a specific person, but you could be a good girl in real life, but you could be posting like some stuff on social media that's like, is that a different person?
Well,
like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I honestly think that's kind of gotten toned down recently because in the past there wasn't much of a there wasn't a lot of accountability on social media, whereas now with the current like outrage culture, you will get like canceled online for maybe something you said 19 years ago. And I feel like there's a lot more accountability now on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Whereas, did you see what's going on Twitter like today, even with Kanye West?
No.
I didn't see the full story, but I think it has something to do with Taylor Swift again.
No.
And she's like,
who started it?
Like I said, I didn't. All I saw was
you didn't go too deep into it.
I didn't go too deep into it. All I saw was I woke up this morning. I saw went on Twitter. I saw Kanye West trending. And I was like, oh god. And right below that was Taylor Swift. So I kind of I didn't really bother to click on it because I didn't have time. But I knew it was something was going on again. And I feel like recently it's gotten to the point where you kind of have to be the same person you are online as you are in real life because people will actually hold you accountable. Whereas 10 years ago you could say whatever you wanted under some weird name like Skater Boy 42 or something, and go on Facebook and post anything you wanted. Where today people will actually hold you accountable for your actions, which I think is a good thing to a point. Now, obviously, I don't agree with, coming after someone and trying to destroy their career for maybe something they said 15 years ago when they were 12 years old, and they obviously didn't know what they weren't fully understanding what they were saying, and they probably wouldn't do the same actions as they would today. He's trying to do ASMR, but the mic's not picking up. So
I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of people who look to social media to be a different person. And I don't think you should have to try to be a different person on social media than in real life. Like, be you. And I think there's a lot of people who, like, are trying to, like, I don't know if they're trying to be, like, Instagram models or something. But I just don't know what's going on right now. Like, to be honest, I don't consider myself a big social media guy. I don't post on Instagram. The last time I posted was probably like, let's see. I posted in October of 2019. So
October of 2019. Last time I posted was March 13th, and the caption was subscribe to and follow at adulting.podcast.
Yeah, you got to plug the channel. But
yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, I consider it toxic. I don't like what I see on there always. Like I try to like follow just like sports accounts and meme accounts because everyone has an opinion about everything, and the more you read into it, the more it affects you. And I think like even if it's not about you, like people still get triggered somehow.
And I think that's the biggest thing about social media. The reason why it's so popular is because it gives everyone a platform.
Yeah.
Like, someone on some random kid from Missouri has the same platform as you and I do at this moment. And that, I mean, it's kind of sort of like power where, you can actually go out and post, type something up, click send tweet on Twitter, and you can actually have people listen to you. And some people go crazy with this because, they might not necessarily have like a great support system at home or a lot of friends, and they see that they can get attention on Twitter or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram by just saying or posting whatever. And it kind of works like a drug in some ways where these people, they'll they'll do whatever to get that attention because they don't
Yeah.
get that attention.
The more interaction you get, the more you crave.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we're probably we face this problem with our YouTube channel. We're constantly on the Creator Studio app, and we're just constantly refreshing, and like we'll freak out if the views stall for like 20 minutes or something. Where, with episode 3, we dropped it.
It was stuck at 200 for a really big amount of time, and it was kind of stressing us out.
Yeah, we gained 200 in about an hour, and then it was kind of just stuck there for the next 4 or 5 hours, and we were like so confused why it's happening, and then it spiked up again. So it's kind of like a drug, like social media interactions. You kind of get a high off of it.
Yeah.
And that's why so many people are into it, because it gives every single person a platform. Like, you don't have to be famous anymore to have your voice heard.
Mm-hmm. As a senior in high school, how long have you like been active on social media? Like, did you get a social media like right when you got your phone in 6th grade? Do you think, or?
Yeah, I got Instagram right away.
But like, how did your posts like differ from when you were in 6th grade to now being an 18-year-old kid? Like,
I'd say they're a lot more mature.
Yeah.
Now, because when I first got Instagram, it was more of like something I would post on my spam account, where it was just like daily life updates.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, I'd be like, oh my god, no one except like 10 of my closest friends really care, so I'm not gonna post this. And now it's more of like, just pictures of me having fun. I mean, the last picture I posted was like,
subscribe to it.
Yeah. So it's got my social media presence today is more of like kind of a scrapbook, I'd say, where it's me posting probably like the best moments of my life. And I mean, I'm not really posting them for anyone except for myself.
Yeah. Why do you think people feel the need to like share those moments online rather than just like keep them in between you and the people who like experienced it?
For me, it's a very stupid reason, but for me, it's I'll lose that if I don't put it on Instagram, because I mean, I have like 3,000 pictures on my camera roll, and if I don't post those, like my Instagram, I mean, I have 7 or 8 posts on there. So, if it's some very big important thing, I'll put it on Instagram, and like I will never lose those. When I get a new phone or anything, Instagram's always gonna be there. I'm never gonna lose those. So that's what I think it is for me. Some people, I feel like they want to seem perfect, and like if they'll post 20 times a week about every single activity they did, and they'll post like the best pictures, because like I said, it just makes them feel good about themselves, is that they got 400 likes on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah. Do you think flexing has anything to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally you take a picture, and the center of the picture is like a huge name brand like belt or something.
Oh yeah.
Like a Gucci belt or something, and like that's like why? Okay, cool, you got a belt. Congratulations. You spent how much money on that one belt that you used to hold your pants up?
But yeah, people, I mean, there's always people that are doing it just to flex. That's true.
Do you think that people who flex are more insecure than people who don't?
I wouldn't say that. I can't really say, because there's very, very famous and rich people that go on Instagram and flex like their cars or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, in their case, I'd say it's because of the fact that they didn't have all that stuff, and now they do.
Yeah.
And so that's a big deal to them, is like, they didn't have all this stuff growing up, and now they made it, and so they can flex it. What my issue is, though, is 16, 17-year-old kids flexing with stuff that's not theirs.
Here I got mommy's purse on my shoulder.
So like a 17-year-old girl posting like with a Louis bag on her shoulder, and that's obviously the centerpiece of the entire post because it covers like 2/3 of the entire frame. It's the Louis Vuitton bag, and it's like, that's obviously not yours.
Yeah.
Because it is, and you're 16 years old, and I want to know where you got the money from, because...
Yeah, and you work at Subway.
Yeah, you work at Subway for $9 an hour. Like, where did you get the money to get that bag? That's what I want to know. And since it's not your bag, like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I just feel like so if you're not like uber wealthy, uber famous, like some rapper or some social media celebrity or whatever,
more than likely you're insecure about
you're insecure.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is, because I mean, I have a lot of nice stuff, but you usually don't see me posting about it.
So then, are these celebrities who are posting with like this like really expensive things, are they just living their best life? Or do you think they're being negative role models in doing so? Because they're doing this and people look up to them, and so then people are like, oh, I want to do this. Maybe it'll put me on a higher level, and I'll be looked up the same way that I look up to these people. Like, do you think that has anything to do with it, or? I'm
a firm believer in that every person makes their own decisions.
Yeah.
And that other people, no matter who it is, their actions have very little influence on how you behave. That's what I believe in, and I mentioned this in the last episode too, episode number 4, the one about the one where we went into depth with poverty and homelessness and things like that, where I mentioned that you see people like rapping about drugs and stuff. For me, that doesn't make me think, wow, this person raps about drugs, therefore they're successful, so I'm going to go do that. Now, you and Josh said in the last episode that there are people that do have that kind of mindset where if they think that if they rap about drugs, they'll be like Post Malone, and they'll be very famous. At that point, it's just stupidity. Like, if you do you really think that let me think, Lil Uzi, who grew up in Philadelphia, and he came from the projects, do you really, and you're a kid in Minnetonka who lives on the lake in a $7.9 million house, do you really think you are anything like Lil Uzi by posting your dad's Ferrari on your Instagram account? When Lil Uzi, he grew up not having food and not knowing where his next meal was going to come from. I'm sorry, but I have no sympathy for you. That person has worked out of that terrible situation and has worked for everything that they post. Yeah. What pisses me off...
Lil Uzi, I definitely say that he's one of the person who, like, it wasn't just luck. I think that dude worked his ass off to get to where he is right now. He definitely had, like, it wasn't, there's very few people, in my opinion, that actually get lucky and make it, and when they do get lucky and make it, they flame out. Yeah. To be on top, like Lil Uzi, like Post Malone, Lil Wayne, anyone that's been at the top for a while, Trippie Redd, someone like that, there sure might be a little bit of luck involved, but once you get to the top and you stay there, that's not luck. That's word. Yeah.
That's where all the back end work that you put in when no one was watching, when you had 100 plays per month on SoundCloud. That's where that comes in, because if you were able to keep going through all that struggle of not maybe getting 100 listens on your SoundCloud or 100 views on your YouTube video, if you were able to get through that, then and you finally make it, you earn the right to actually be able to flex with whatever you have on Instagram, which is what that's what my opinion is, where I feel like that's kind of a thing where you have to earn it. Like, I don't think my dad is rich. My dad works, he's an executive at like 3M's or whatever, so I'm gonna post all over my Instagram with, his Ferrari or something like that.
Yeah.
Where if you haven't earned it, I don't think it gives you the right to post it. That's how I think. And I feel like that social media also plays a big part in high school culture, like in real life. So a couple years ago, when Supreme was kind of
really
the big,
popping.
yeah, the biggest thing. I think it was our sophomore year was when it was really at its hype.
Yeah.
Or at its peak with the hype. And I saw kids walking around school with Supreme backpacks. And like I usually do buy into hype and things like that. Like if I think like something's really popping, I'm like, wow, it's pretty cool. But like Supreme was one of those things where I was always like, I never really understood why it was so popular. Like I really try to understand.
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand why it was so popular. So I thought it was stupid. And that's kind of where the first time I was able to step away from like being directly involved in hyping something up that really didn't deserve it, to like stepping aside and seeing like how social media affects like a high school.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was you go on social media and every big rapper that you follow or whatever, they're posted up with Supreme and like a Lamborghini and things like that.
Yeah.
And like a Supreme headband, which was very famous. When I used to play soccer, I'd see like kids every single game. There'd be at least one kid. I swear it was like the same kid too.
Yeah.
On every single team. Long, flowy blonde hair, Supreme headband.
Yeah.
Every single game. And I was like, are you
why?
like is this a clone? I swear I played you last game, bro.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it.
That's the part where I think that I personally have a problem with it, is because when there's all these people on social media and there's all these people who are like influenced by trying to look like superior to everybody else, whether it's like dressing in like hype beast clothing, then there's no separation between character and like personality, I think, between these people, because they all start to look the same. They all start to conform into the same like group. And they, like, you're not your own individual person anymore by that point.
What really separates these people, I'd say, is everyone on social media, they kind of fit some sort of aesthetic, right? And who really defines these aesthetics are the people you call crazy. Here's a crazy idea: the people you call influencers on social media, they define what kind of stuff gets what is popping on Instagram. So, for example, excuse me, someone like, I'll just use Logan Paul for example.
Yeah.
His aesthetic, if you go on his Instagram, it's very bright, vibrant colors, and it's usually people smiling and like generally having a good time. If you go on Playboy Cardi, his Instagram, dude, I couldn't tell you what that aesthetic is. It's like just very like abstract images and things like that.
Yeah.
And people try to copy like these big famous celebrities and like, morph a little bit of their own, but really that all ends up looking the same anyway.
And I think it's okay to get inspiration from people. But the importance is you have to find like what your passion is inside, and like how can you make it your own, and how can you like be different from everybody else. Because to me, I'm someone who's really inspired by like uniqueness. Like if something's like one in a kind, it's super original, it's not like what everybody else is wearing, that's what like more attracts my attention than like something that like looks like something that you would walk in school and you'd see like 10 other kids the same day wearing the same thing or doing the same stuff. Like I'm not inspired by being the same as everybody else.
Have you ever had this where you walk into school with, something new and you're the only one there with it and you feel great later. And then the next day you walk in, 18 kids wearing the same exact jacket as you were. Yeah. And then you're just like, wow.
You're cool.
Like have you ever felt that?
Yeah. I've seen it too, where I've seen like one person who might be a little bit more popular, and they come with like a new piece of clothing or something, and then the next day I see 10 other kids who decided to buy the same thing, and like whether or not they bought it in the same color or like a different color, it's like still wow, come on.
Do you think? Yeah, that brings that kind of makes me think. Do you think high school? It's kind of every high school is its little kind of world of its own.
Yeah.
Where if like you have, I mean, I'll just compare them. Like you have your professional athletes, as in the varsity athletes for like the basketball team
Like
or
they
something.
were once known as jocks, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
like a real world comparison would be like you have your professional athlete.
Yeah.
That's like your city's like NBA team,
Mm-hmm.
or you have the like you have the kids that are just
You got the Instagram
yeah, like you
butt
got
models
you got
yeah.
like the girls that are like Instagram models or whatever.
Wannabe influencers.
Yeah, and then you have the social media like influencers, as in like just the uber popular kids.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that?
You got like the Bill Gates and Steve Jobs.
Yeah, there's always there's always a couple of those too. So does it seem to you that like high school is it's kind of its own little world? Like every high school has.
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I mean now that I do think about it, like I definitely think that's the case because I mean I do believe that there is like different groups or like factions within the school of like people who like identify with like these other people, but yeah, that's crazy. Like it's literally like its own like little society within schools.
And so something you always hear about is breaking barriers and pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think about it, if someone's like that unconforming, like in real, like in the real world,
mm-hmm.
not just in high school, they might run into problems, as in they like there's a difference between being unconforming and being annoying and a nuisance to society.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's something that's played out on a smaller level in high school, as in if you're trying to be unconforming and you're trying, like, let's say you're a jock or whatever,
yeah,
and you try to go hang out with the robotics kids,
mm-hmm.
like just not because you want to be mean to them or whatever, just
because you genuinely want to like
you
hang out with them.
Yeah, you genuinely think they're cool, and like you want to find out what's up.
Yeah.
Do you think that can like sometimes cause problems, as in these people they will not let you in?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's something that's like even possible to happen. Like it's so weird to me because you can have a relationship with someone outside of school, like once again through social media, maybe through Snapchat, or maybe you're someone's neighbor and you grew up together, but then you get to high school and like say you look different or you're smart, but your friend or someone that you used to be friends with is really athletic, and so then you guys end up separating ways. It like people are afraid to like cross groups. Like I don't think even if an athlete was like really got along or really shared the same values with someone from a different group, like a robotics, like the group of like robotics people or the group that are like really smart and like do science stuff or whatever, I don't think that they would ever even dare to cross the boundary of separating their own group, because I feel like they're afraid of like what other people are going to say or judge them and what their perspective might be. And that's truly devastating to me, because I mean, I don't see the purpose in like separating yourselves by like who you are, because
well, that's human nature.
Yeah.
Humans by nature are people that like factions, that like separation, and you naturally are going to hang out with people of similar interests and dislike people with different interests. So I don't think there's anything we can do about that. Like as long as humanity exists, there's gonna be factions, there's gonna be different groups and whatever. But That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
is high school a completely different world than, look, once you step outside of those walls? So, like what you mentioned, you could be best
Yeah.
friends with a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been neighbors for your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you step into those four walls, and let's say that person's very athletic and they're
Yeah.
really great at a sport, you both of you guys kind of act like you've never seen each other,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy to me. Which
Mm-hmm.
is what makes me think that high school is kind of its own different world.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever like seen someone that you've like actually talked to in person at school or something, but then you see them in public, like outside of school, and you kind of just like try not to avoid them almost, like not because you hate them or not because you're afraid or somehow, but you see them and you just like either you act like you don't see them or you just don't even say hello, like you just
Like ignoring people that you
kind
see at school.
yeah.
I
Like,
mean, not
no,
usually.
like not like ignoring someone that you ignore at school, but like someone maybe you talk to at school, but then in public, I don't know if it's like just I don't know. I feel like I see people who like just don't communicate with each other like outside of school. Do you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Like
Like say like if you and I like kind of sat next to each other in a class
yeah,
and we weren't like really friends, but like we would talk to each other like during class
yeah.
sometimes. But then like we were both at Target and you were in one section and
Oh, like
we
if
both saw each other, but we didn't like make eye contact or anything,
Yeah.
and we just chose not to like walk up to one another and say like hello or anything.
Yeah. I don't. That really doesn't really happen to me.
Yeah.
Because I'd say I don't really fit into any one single group
That's
at school.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
interesting that you say that.
I'm like because I'm kind of friends with everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't pin me as one specific type of person that I hang out with. I hang out with literally everyone, as long as you're not as long as you're not an asshole, I'll be friends with you. That's it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. I think that that's a problem, or not even a problem, but just something that I face, especially through high school. But I think, to be honest, my whole life, is that I've had like such a like a cultured perspective. I would say like I've been interested in so many different things that I could never really find myself fitting in just one group and like being like, okay, this is exactly where I belong. Like I've been in like so many different friend groups, I think, and I could never tell you that one group I felt like I fit in more than the other.
And we had a problem with this our ninth grade year.
Yeah.
We had a huge problem with this because we are naturally, two of us are people that like to push boundaries, and sometimes that pushes people's boundaries a little too much, and they get pissed at it. They get pissed about it, and that's something that's happened in the past where, I'm like, hey, why don't we do this? This seems fun. No, what our group doesn't do that. That's something that other group over there, that's their thing to do. And I'm like, why? Like, why does it have to be their thing? Why can't anyone do it? Like, is it weird that I want to go bowling on a Friday night and not sit at home and watch movies? Like, no, because that other group is there bowling. I'm like, cool. Why don't we go meet up with them or something?
And I once again, I don't blame those people, but I almost felt like I was socially outcasted from that group. Like I don't think they were bullying me or anything, and I don't think that like we like were enemies with it. I don't think I was enemies with anybody in the group, but I felt like I didn't belong, and I think they felt the same way, that like I didn't like equivalate to their ideas and ways of life, or how they were hanging out and whatever, that we kind of just like, I don't know, pushed each other away.
Something I noticed is I personally, I like I said, I've never really fit into one single group, and I've kind of been friends with everyone. And something I noticed was a lot of people are actually like me, but they've kind of been in the same environment since they were like 2 years old, that they're afraid to speak up. So for me, I've been to 5 or 6 different schools
Yeah.
in my entire life. And so, like, you know, being friends with new people, it's not a new idea to me or anything like that. However, when you've lived in Prior Lake, Minnesota since you were born, and you've grown up being friends with this same group that you went to elementary school with, middle school with, and now high school, you don't really know what it's like to be like make new friends if you think about it, because those fresh friends you make, it's usually like kids that your parents are like kids of your people that your parents are friends with.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you never really made your own friends ever. And once you get to that point where, you know, something's pushing your comfort zone, and, you know, you might want to step away from that friend group, you kind of just go along with it, which is like another topic of peer pressure, where you kind of just go along with it, even though you might not be comfortable with it, but that's all you've ever known is this friend circle, and you don't want to do anything to break it up or whatever, because because like I said, that's all you've ever known. And that's like do since you've lived in Prior Lake pretty much your entire life.
Yeah. So, well, I lived in Savage, which is like
pretty but you've gone to Prior Lake schools.
So,
you're pretty.
Let's see. I moved here in the 3rd grade, so yeah, I've been here since 3rd grade.
Yeah, like would you even by 3rd grade there was like friends
already groups established, that are still friends today.
That are still great friends today.
Why do you think it is that like they don't like welcome new people into the group, even if like they share the same views?
Well, I feel like they do. I actually do feel like most friend groups, they will welcome you if you actually step out of your comfort zone and try and go talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this like stigma that people don't want to welcome you because no one ever wants to step out of their comfort zone and go talk to new people. Like when I'm at school and I just talk, if I, you know, have a conversation with someone I've never talked to before, 99.9% of the time it's like a nice conversation.
Yeah.
Like very rarely do I like actually meet someone where like they're a completely different person from who they are with their friends.
I mean, the first conversation with someone is always going to be awkward, but that's just the way it is. But you have to make the attempt to push past that and continue. Like, there's a huge importance in building relationships. Yeah.
Something I noticed is like the topic of that people don't want to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't want to invite other people in. Mm-hmm. That's true. Most of the time, people won't invite you in necessarily to their like clique or whatever.
Yeah.
However, if you take the first step and you put yourself out there, which is a very big thing, is like because in that spot you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you could completely get shut down and made fun of, and that would suck. So most of the time people won't like put themselves out there, and they think that that's because the other group is like closed off, which I don't think it's the case. I think it's just the other group isn't actively trying to bring you in, and you're not putting in the effort to go talk to them, which in this case, if there's no effort from either side, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. It could be hard, though. I mean, I think it's hard when you're the only person who's not a member of that group.
Yeah.
And you want, although you might want to become a member or like become friends with these people, it's hard when it doesn't, when you get that feeling that you might not be invited, even though if that's not the case, it's hard to just like push the normal or break the boundary that's separating you from becoming a member of that of a group, that it can really keep someone from being willing to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, that's human nature. People don't want to step out of their comfort zone.
It's really important that you can build relationships throughout your life, because the more people you know, I think the more likely to be successful you'll be, because you build perspective on life. You have all these different people, and if you get people who don't all share the same views, well then you get a better understanding from all these different sides that allow you to...
Civil discourse is actually a very good thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, what you just said, that more people you know, the more successful you're gonna be. Your network is your net worth. That is a very great tip that one of our teachers, they always tell us.
Yeah.
Is your network is your net worth. So if we're gonna take away one thing from this episode, that's what we want to take you to take away. Now, for a little bit of fun.
Move into the segment.
Yeah. So it's been a week. It's been about a week, I'd say.
And it's probably gonna go on for another month and a half.
Yeah.
Who knows how long? I don't think we'll go back. Do you think we're gonna go back to school this year?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But we've been quarantined. I mean, the only reason I know today is Saturday is because it's our scheduled time that we record. Otherwise, I had no idea what day it was this entire week.
Yeah.
But what is one way that you can keep yourself occupied? Step number 1. You can watch adulting. Wait, that's the wrong one. Wait. Adulting. You can watch. That's a banner. If you don't know what it looks like, go and watch that. All right? Or you can go watch the YouTube channel of our makeshift videographer right now. It's called Sports Tale. I don't know what he posts. He posts some funny stuffed toy skits.
Your most recent episode was trick shots, right?
Oh yeah, he posted trick shots.
Basketball trick shots, or what kind of trick shots were you doing? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so go watch Sports Tale. Go watch Adulting.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy. Hit subscribe. It's getting annoying.
Yeah.
How many times do we have to tell you guys?
Come on, just subscribe.
Comment what you want to see in future episodes. It seems right now that the Dante and Apple special will continue for a couple weeks. That's for sure.
It might be the next month.
Yeah. Very, very possible. Also, if you want to multitask and you don't want to play us on YouTube, we're also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure that you go into the bio and you hit the donate button on Anchor.
Yeah.
We're really trying to build up this set.
Just slide down to the description and just click the link that says support us, and you can donate a little bit of money to us. So it goes a long way to help. So Dante, what did you do in the 25 minutes yesterday that you were bored?
Yeah, so step number 2, get artistic. And I'm going to have my videographer Kush here bring me a little piece for you guys to see. This is what you can do in your free time.
How long did that take you?
Took me a couple hours maybe. Here you see, I decided to make a wolf. It's kind of just walking, but you can really... I don't really know how to explain the creative process here, but you can use colored pencils, crayons, anything available to you, really. Do it on paper. Get artistic. Make sure maybe draw us and tag Adulting.
Oh, yeah.
We need some fan art.
Fan art.
Yeah.
Fan art. We'll put it up on the wall.
Yeah. We want to see how creative you guys can get. Let's see. Step number 3. All right. Step number 3, we have board games.
Board games. Crazy that something that our parents grew up with was something that we would find entertaining. Yesterday, for the first time in 5 years, I'd say, I actually played a board game.
Yeah, what board game did you play?
Played Clue.
Clue?
Clue.
That's the one with the murder mystery.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Fun.
Because all the other board games, they bore the out of me.
Yeah. Well,
I cannot play a game that shoots and ladders.
Yeah.
That would bore me.
Well, I've turned into an 80-year-old man and decided that puzzles could be entertaining. And so, as you see here, I got the Star Wars puzzles. It came in a 4-pack. That's pretty great. I got 300 pieces and one 500 pieces. 500 piece. So far, I've finished one puzzle. That kind of stressed me out. I've realized that my OCD prevents me from being able to do the puzzle in little steps or segments. I have to finish it all at once. Because if I see these little pieces just like sitting there, well, then I just want to like give up. So, yeah, that's that. Last step.
Something that we might want to talk about. So, let us know. Would you be interested in a cooking segment for this show in the future?
Yeah, like quarantine DIYs.
We're quarantined right now. We really can't do anything. Like we can't come up with fun stories from our experiences or anything while we're quarantined because there are no experiences. Everything's shut down.
Yeah, and we know that we told you guys we were gonna vlog, but there's not really a whole lot to vlog with. Like, yeah, you want to see us vlog me doing a puzzle? No.
You want to see me vlog, like, sitting in my basement playing video games for, like, 6 hours?
So if you want to see these little segments, like, us, like, teaching you guys how to cook, I guess, let us know. Tell us how you feel about that. I talked about making some non-alcoholic beverages. If you're over 21, you can obviously
you can
change that.
You can do whatever with it, but I mean, we're just trying to make sure our content doesn't get dry.
Yeah.
The views are popping. We're gonna keep that up.
Yeah, we need to maintain that.
Yeah. Episode 4, our hardest hitting episode yet. We don't know how that did. We were recording this before we dropped it.
Hopefully it did well.
Hopefully it did better than episode 3 and episode 2.
Definitely better than episode 1.
Yeah. Well,
remember how hyped we were about episode 1 though? We're like, damn, we're popping.
Yeah, we got 300 views, but we kind of just popped off.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna complain about it, but that was kind of crazy.
This whole quarantine thing has definitely helped.
Yeah, the quarantine.
As unfortunate as it is,
it's helped our channel because people have nothing better to do than be on YouTube and Netflix.
Yeah, but we got to make sure that we keep that up after this all happens, because we don't want to disappear.
Yeah, gotta stay relevant.
All right, do you want to sign us off?
Yeah, that does it. So, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit subscribe, comment down below if you want to see us do a cooking segment, and any other thoughts you have on what we discussed today. We really enjoy hearing things that the viewers and listeners have to say about our topics of discussion. And yeah, that about does it. So comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you turn on post notifications, and also share us with your friends. If you find that we're entertaining, chances are the people that you hang out with and have similar interests to, like we discussed earlier, will find us entertaining too. So that does it. Thank you so much, and peace.
Yeah, see you later.
Ugh.